Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Rohr Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
Welcome to episode 128. Hi, Josh Rohr.
Hi, Laura Sturm.
Thanks.
So there's some stuff happening. A lot of announcements just went up recently. So I'm just going to run down through the list to make sure everybody's aware of those and what's going on. So there is a form that was published if you are interested in bidding for one of the pro qualifying meets. There's 3 to 4 of those that'll be accepted. And basically it's like a one platform, 28 lifter, 2 flights of 14 men, 14 women. And the best lifter, if they hit the minimum dots, gets a pro card. So there's going to be a couple of those sanctioned here pretty soon. But the link for that, if you're interested in hosting one of those, is in the Meet Director Resource Center under the bid section. So anybody can bid for it. And basically the Pro Series committee is going to kind of vet those out and then send it on to the EC for selection and approval. So if you're interested in bidding on one of those, the deadline to submit that is Saturday, February 11th, which is this coming Saturday in a few days. We also have the announcement of the Masters World Cup, which is May 20th and 21st in Arlington, Texas. I got taxes on the mind. I got to get mine done. So that's going to be kind of the first international meet held in the U.S. Specific to Masters. So that should be pretty cool. Wes Zunker, I believe, is running that. So
I approve.
Puts on pretty good
That's
meets.
good news. Mm-hmm.
Regionals. Registration is also open for regionals. So the Southeast region is in North Carolina this year. And the bonus of doing regionals, for those that don't know, if you place top 3 in your division and weight class, you get a 50 kilo handicap towards a qualifying total. So let's just say, the qualifying total is 500 kilos. I'm just making that up. And, if I have my best day, I can hit 450. Well, if I hit 450, but that also places me top 3 in my weight class and division, I get that 50 kilo handicap total. So my 450 kilo total now actually qualifies me for the 500 kilo qualifying total. So it's a way for people that are right on that verge of making it to nationals can go compete for a spot by placing top 3. It's pretty cool. I kind of like it because it forces the lifters to understand the gamesmanship of it, but also it's a lot of really good practice for the coaches to practice that gamesmanship that is always going on at the national level. So I think it's good.
Well, it's always better to lift with lifters that are just better than you.
Yeah, of course.
It brings your game up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a way to, people that are just right on the verge, like, you can't say enough about the experience of lifting at a national meet. So a lot of people argue like, well, if I'm, using a 50 kilo handicap, I'm not really good enough to compete. Who gives a shit? Like, you need to get there and get that experience. That way, when you a year later are a better lifter and potentially able to contend, you don't want to experience your first meet with high expectations. You want to have already experienced what it's going to be like, so you're not caught off guard.
Yep.
So if you can make it by any means, get there and do it, is my recommendation.
Yep, I agree.
Or don't. I don't care unless you're my lifter. So the other thing with regionals is the best overall Masters lifter gets their Masters Pro card. So we talked about the pro qualifying meets being bid on right now. That's for the open division. The Masters Pro qualifying meets are actually at regionals. So you just enter regionals regularly. And if you're the best overall Masters lifter in your region by dots with the age coefficient, then you get your Masters Pro card. So that's also added incentive there to sign up for that meet if you're a masters lifter.
I like this extra attention to masters lifters.
Yes.
It warms my heart.
Now that I'm a masters lifter.
You didn't appreciate it before.
Oh, I always did, but it's
just kidding.
I don't know. So, I always appreciated it, but now I don't know. I just feel like there's justification for my aches and pains now.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
I feel heard.
Just turned 40. Wow.
Yeah. So I think I've identified with masters lifters for about 20 years now. So you can argue that I'm actually just into my M3s at this point.
Yeah, you're an old man in a young person's body.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay.
So there's another meet that just popped up on the calendar, the Atlanta Open and Atlanta Primetime, which is going to be May 20th at Meadow Creek High School in Norcross. So they're running the Atlanta Open like they have the last couple of years, but they're also throwing in a primetime session. It's just going to be the top lifters being invited. And I only found out about this, like, it wasn't on the USAPL Georgia website. It was sanctioned and on the USA Powerlifting website, but I didn't notice it. Anyway, long story short, so 3 of our girls got invites. None of them knew about it because with Instagram, you have to accept like message requests and things like that. So nobody saw it. So if you're one of the top lifters in Georgia and you think you might have gotten an invite to this, you should check your Instagram DMs because there's a chance it's in there and you didn't see it.
Yeah. Instagram messaging, probably not the best way to communicate to people.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, the thing is nobody checks email either. So like,
right. So you're screwed either way.
Yeah. Instagram, it just depends on the crowd. I think the younger crowd, Instagram's probably the way to go. Older crowd, I don't know. Telegram, maybe.
Well, I think email either way probably would be still like, I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, I would do it all. Like I it's just a lot more work. Like, because there's so many different ways to communicate. Like I can send them a message them on Twitter, send them a Facebook message, send them a text message, send them a Marco Polo. There's all these things.
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah, carrier pigeon. That's
that'd be a good one.
Tried but true way to do it. So anyway, just saying all that to check your DMs just in case, and wanted to mention all those meets because there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. February 5th, the NGB meeting notice was published. It's in the NGB information on the USAPL website. You need to be a member and you can sign in to view it. So the NGB is going to be part of Raw Nationals this year. Traditionally, it's been always with Open Nationals. And then last year was Mega Nationals. So the NGB is going to be Monday, September 18th from 9 to 5 in Memphis, Tennessee. So definitely, if you're a member, I would encourage everybody to go. It's very good to have a better understanding of what's going on in the organization, how things are ran, things like that. I would love to see everybody go.
Absolutely. It's a good experience, if nothing else, to see how the organization's run and get a peek behind the curtains.
Yep. And there are, wasn't planning to go through all this, but there's 3 executive committee positions up for grabs and vice president seat is up for grabs. I say up for grabs. I mean, it's the election time. It doesn't mean it's vacant.
Okay.
I guess I should be clear how I say that.
Do better.
Yeah, they do better. Anyway. All right. Driving songs.
So we have a new music list coming up. I've been doing my research. I've got a list. I'm going through it.
So it was brought to my attention that I didn't put the link in the bio like last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. It's in there now. However, nobody has signed up yet. We have not received one submission for top 5 driving songs. So the deadline to do that is February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's coming up. So make sure you do that.
So I'm thinking that people are like me, that they're making a list and then they made a playlist and now they're playing it while they're driving.
Or
that's what I'm doing.
They're putting it off and haven't done it like I am doing.
None of it? You've not done any of it?
I mean, I have songs in my head, but I haven't done any research yet.
Wow. Yeah, putting it off. Stop.
It doesn't mean I'm not going to submit the best list available.
Well, and then what I'd like to do is see if we can get a Spotify list going with all of the songs so that people can practice driving for like a week, with the Spotify list going. They're driving and they're thinking, man, I'm digging these songs. And then they could like have the data that they need to vote on these lists.
That's actually a great idea. Are you offering to create the Spotify list?
Oh, shit. Oh.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm not even sure how to do that.
Well,
I think I've done it. I've done it. I know how to make a Spotify list. All right. As long as we get
I 100%, I just want to be clear. I 100% am not going to do that. I have no interest in doing it.
All right. You get me the list. I'll do it. Okay.
Okay, deal.
Yeah. As long as technology does not thwart me.
You're like, shit. I don't know.
Shit. I know.
Me and my stupid mouth.
Me and my stupid ideas. I just made work for myself. Yeah, but I mean, that's how people can get familiar with the lists. And
yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I actually we should have thought of that years ago when we started doing this stuff.
Have people listen to the music instead of just voting based on Chris Elmore having lots of teenage friends.
Okay. Did you ever watch Home Improvement with Tim Allen?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay. So there's this one episode where Jill, his wife, is talking about something from her childhood or something, like at a zoo, and there's wallabies or something like that. And apparently she tells this story over and over and over, because every time she starts to tell it, all the kids at the same time go, not the wallaby story. This reminds me of that. Not the Elmore story.
So mad.
Anyway.
So Josh, if your list were to win, what would you get?
So basically out of sheer laziness, I haven't went out and solicited a sponsor. So what I'm going to do is give $100 worth of Team Rohr apparel to whoever wins. So anything we have in stock, which is still quite a bit of stuff, different things, give you a choice of kind of what you want.
So is your favorite shirt now gone? That one's moved on.
We still have that shirt. Damn it. We still have it, but it has no price because it's not listed for sale anywhere.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if that counts or not. Maybe.
I don't know. Does everyone know what your favorite shirt is?
I'm sure you're going to tell them.
I'm sorry. It just never gets old. So there's this amazing shirt that somebody made. And at first it was just like hand drawn on a t-shirt that someone wore to a Team Rohr training session. And it said Team Rohr, did it say 50 Shades of Rohr on the front? Or was it just the back that said, chains and cages don't scare us?
I don't know. You're the one telling the story.
Yeah. I don't remember what the front said, if the front said anything, but the chains and cages don't scare us, inciting the whole like visual.
It also doesn't say that. You
don't say that?
It's close. Shit. You're a little off track. Fine. The front says 50 Shades of Rohr. And you're doing this on purpose. In the back, because I can't stand when things aren't just right. So the back says chains and cages are nothing new to us.
So true.
There, are you happy?
So true. I am.
You know how to get under my skin. It's really annoying.
I know. But Josh, I think we're coming up on like an anniversary, like you and I, of like when I actually met you. I think we're going back like 11 years now, because it's about this time of year that I started training with you. It was like, yeah.
Was it? What time of year? I don't remember. I mean, I remember, but I don't remember what time of year it was.
Well, Dan and I had just gotten married, and then I did the border. Was it Border Bash? What was it called? Battle on the Border.
Battle on the Border in North Carolina.
Yeah, which was in early March.
Crazy! Well, happy anniversary! 11 years.
Yeah, I know how to get under your skin.
Man.
Yeah.
So here's something else that gets under my skin that every time makes me think of you. So when when Amy gets done with a set of squats, or when I'm putting her straps up or whatever it is, she always turns in a direction that is like, I either have to like straddle a bunch of random shit on the floor, or like squeeze between the the wrap roller and something else to put them up. I'm like, just stand still. Like, you're right in the middle of nowhere. Like, I can easily just take one step and put your straps up. Instead, you have to like create this freaking obstacle course for me to do anything. And it reminds me of you. I swear you two have talked, because you both do the same exact thing. Like, it's like, it's like you couldn't try to make it more difficult. Like, I don't know.
My heart is warm that Amy's filling that void.
It's every time. Like, man.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And I
Great.
tell her every time, I'm like, just stop moving. Like, I started calling her Laura. I'm like, I go, hey, Laura, why don't you stop turning?
You're welcome. Good times.
Boy, you got me all riled up now. Hope you're happy.
Yep, I am. So the powerlifting situation, Josh. Want me to ask you? What would you do?
Let me ask you.
Okay.
So you packed your bag for a meet and are all set to go to the airport at 4 a.m. At 3 a.m., just before your alarm goes off, you wake up in a panic. You were dreaming that you forgot to pack something. Do you go through your entire bag or trust that you packed everything?
Well, can I say both? Because I have a list. I would have a list. I would like obsessively cross it off. And then I would pack my bag. And then I would normally unpack it and then go through the list again. But if I woke up because I had a bad dream that I forgot to pack something, I would go through my bag and make sure I packed it.
So the answer is not both. You would go through it.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't trust. I'm neurotic.
I mean, that's probably what I would do.
Because the fuck up fairy has flown low over me so many times. I went to a Super Bowl party this weekend.
The Super Bowl, the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet. I get it. Oh, okay.
Yep. Oh, so yeah, I go to this party and I'm like, wow, there's no one here. Am I early? Yes. So yeah, the fuck up fairy flying low. So yeah, I don't trust anything, but I do. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good to
Yeah,
know.
boy. And I've had those dreams. There was one recently where you were getting me ready for a meet, and I was like walking up to do my first squat, and I'm like, wait, I don't have any of my equipment on. And you put in like this really crazy opener, and I'm like, I can't squat like this. Yeah, powerlifting nightmares. They're real.
Yeah, I still have them. I still have them about, like, it's weird. Like, I'll still have dreams about, like, as a meet director, driving to the 2014 Alabama state meet that I'm running and forgetting the bar, or just like very specific. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. It's annoying, but it's real, man. I wake up like seriously freaked out. Like, man, I got to go all the way back to Atlanta to get.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm dreaming about a meet that I ran 10 years ago.
You were scarred.
I am scarred.
Yeah, we need this. So, what's your new lifter tip for us?
So the tip is do the little things. So as you ramp up for hitting your heavy lifts in training, the little things almost become more important because your body starts to tighten up. Example, when you're handling heavier weights more often, AKA going into a meet, you're going to feel tighter. Muscles are going to want to tighten down. So you got to spend more time stretching, more time doing your mobility. Good example would be like your thoracic mobility for bench. When you're benching heavy, that is harder to maintain the arch because you're holding more weight. Well, your body also starts to, slowly lose that mobility. So, it's just one of those things, like, we get so hyper focused on, the meet's coming up, we're in meet prep, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the heavy weights become very important, but you can also very significantly diminish how much you can lift by starting to neglect some of these things that maybe you didn't have to spend quite as much time and focus on before to maintain, but now you got to actually spend more time. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would always get like massages right before that. I miss my massages, boy.
Well, technically you could still get them without competing, but
true.
That's what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that. It's also living out in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of harder. Which brings me to the Team Rohr weekend.
Yeah.
That's coming up in June. So if you're part of Team Rohr, you should plan on coming out for that. And I did find that there is a local lodge up in a state park. It's only about 10, 15 minutes away from here that has rooms that weekend. If anybody doesn't want to camp in a barn.
There are absolutely a few lifters that I've talked to. They didn't make it last year, and they said, so they basically said this year, like, yeah, like it sounds like a lot of fun, but I'm not sleeping in a barn. Point blank. So yep. Cool. So there's a lodge that people could stay in.
There is a lodge. There's I did check the availability. There is plenty of availability. The double rooms aren't the cheapest, but it is kind of a cool place and it's got an awesome view. But for a double room, it's still doable. There is a cabin that sleeps 8 that is probably cheaper per person if anybody's interested in doing that.
You should build a cabin on the farm
by June.
By June, and never let anybody stay there except for during Team Rohr weekend. It's a great investment.
The return on investment would be great.
Well, it's good to know though, because there were some people that were pretty sure they're not coming just because they don't want to sleep on an air mattress like 2 weeks out from a meet, which I get. But at the same time, I think everybody did pretty darn well after sleeping on an air mattress last year. So,
yep. And there are Airbnbs nearby too. It's just an amazing area with like nature and shit.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Well, that's all I got, Josh.
That's all I got, Laura.
All right. Well, until next week. Bye now.
Bye now.
It's waiting for you to say bye. And that was just weird and awkward.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.